Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear viewers everywhere, welcome and welcome and welcome to our program about a picture and a comment or comments. Before we do that, I greet you with the greeting, the best greeting that's ever known to humanity, the greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. And I hope that you are enjoying a peaceful life. Ameen. Today we have one picture, and I think from my perspective, my own personal perspective, it's a very beautiful picture. Yes, there may be painful for some people. It's a picture of a child who doesn't have legs, who lost his legs. A child who still smiles with a very big smile and beautiful and cute smile, although he has no legs. It makes a person really reflect upon it. What makes a person like this smile, although he is not like other human beings? It's really something that you may have pity on him. Definitely all of us would have pity on him, but he himself sees life in a different way than others see it, which is, you can imagine that he may live 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 60 years, perhaps 100 years without legs like other people, which makes him handicapped, which deprives him of some of the things that his peer do not, or his peers have. However, one simple lesson that we can learn from this is a lesson of patience. Without patience, we cannot live. And as some people say it in their culture, it could have been worse. This may be a result of an accident or a result of anything, but it could have been worse. He could have lost his 2 legs and something else, and a hand or 2 hands. And as we see in our life, many things happen to us. And we Muslims, alhamdulillah, even when this calamity or this hardship or this suffering happens to us, we say, alhamdulillah. We thank Allah for this, because we know it could have been worse. Allah could have selected something worse than the situation. And that's why we would accept it. And we know that this is part of the decision and the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no escape and there is no outlet of this decision. When the decision of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala happens, one main difference between Muslims and non-Muslims is that Muslims would accept whatever decision Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selects with open hearts and minds, submitting themselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, knowing that it could have been worse. We thank Allah for this great blessing that would make us accept any decision that Allah had selected for us. One of the things that would make this decision easy for us is that the belief in the day of judgment, the day of resurrection. When a Muslim believes that there is another life where all is eternal happiness in this life, he would know that, okay, I want that life where there is no suffering, there's no hardship, there's no pain, there's no type of any tiredness. You will never feel tired in that life, in that world. It's the world that will come after this temporary world that we are living in. With this belief in our brain, we accept calamities that happen to us. The calamity may not be in that physical form, or may be in a different physical form. Somebody may lose his hand, somebody may lose parts of his body, somebody may have an operation on his heart, somebody may lose his job, somebody may have his house burnt. We face different types of calamities. However, We Muslims learned a wonderful lesson from the Quran, that don't despair and always hope for a better life. Always hope for a better life. And we do hope for a better life. We do hope for a better world in the day of judgment. After the end of this short temporary life, we will enjoy an eternal life. Look at this child who is teaching the adults, who is teaching almost everybody that smile and accept the calamities with cheerful face, with a cheerful smile, knowing that you could have not avoided what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have decided for you. Nobody can escape from the destiny and the predestiny and the choice that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. No one, because no one knows the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the only option is to accept what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you. The other people who do not have this belief, they suffer more and more, and that's why some of them would end up their lives by committing suicide, because they don't accept this. Had they believed that there's another life that will be eternal, a life full of happiness and enjoyment, they would have never ever committed suicide. This is one reason throughout history you will find that the least amount of people who commit suicide in this world are the Muslims. And the highest percentage of the people who commit suicide and are living in the most advanced countries in the world, in Japan, in Sweden, in the industrialized countries, in the advanced, so-called advanced countries, they are the ones who commit suicide more. And a simple reason for that is that they don't have the founded belief in the day of judgment. This is one sign of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who created us in this life and who sent us guidelines to know how to live with everything that happens in this life, with the calamity, with a happy incident, with your neighbors, with your parents, with your spouse, with everything, how to deal with the world outside you. We cannot do this by ourselves. A person may go to 100 psychologists and psychiatrists and people who would try to help him because of, and to relieve some sort of the suffering that he or she has. They may do some job, but even though they would not feel happy in comparison with those people if they are Muslims, because of the nature of this great religion, its submission to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, knowing that everything that happens to me and to you is the decision of Almighty Allah. And I hope that every listener would try to imagine that this may happen to him or to her. We ask Allah to avoid us of suffering in this life, but finally it may happen to us, and we should be ready for such things to happen to us. And when you combine this with the default of being submissive and being surrendering ourselves to Almighty Allah, we are willing to accept whatever decision. May Allah give us support until we die and we meet Him on this great religion. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Your presenter, Mamdouh Muhammad. Oh